Okay, very sorry because of here. Let's start. So I think we discussed this, how to learn while learning vocabulary. Mention the best question we did yesterday. I think yes. Just confirm it. This is knowledge we did and basic steps. These 10, 11 steps I have mentioned. So yes, did we discuss this yesterday? Please confirm it. Yes, please. Did we discuss this yesterday? Yes. Then this kind of question can also be asked, from vocabulary section. Tinta jati pattern हेर्नु पर्ला हैन. When we prepare from the vocabulary section, I suggest you to look from 3 perspectives. One is basic steps, basic steps these we mention, what are the basic steps of vocabulary teaching, mention them भन्यो भने हामी basic step जान्छौं, these are the basic steps. And if we are asked what are the different ways or means of teaching vocabulary भन्यो भने फेरि यो अर्को तरिका हो फेरि. What are the different means or ways of teaching vocabulary? यहाँ techniques नभनेर means, हैन, means भन्न सक्छ, ways भन्न सक्छ, हैन. So techniques भन्न सक्छ. So different words interchangeably used. So what are the various means or ways or techniques of teaching vocabulary that can be used in lower secondary English class? Describe with examples at least 4 different means or ways. अब यहाँ हामीले एउटा मात्र राखौं, तपाईले बुझ्नु भयो हैन. The means means what? This way. And here also we write ways, right? Okay, you understand it. So this is just the question सुन्न सक्छ. एउटा directly you will be asked activities or techniques or ways of teaching vocabulary. Another one is basic steps can be asked, हैन. अर्को तरिका भनेको यो हो. अब introduction part यो सबैमा लेख्नुस्, common छ यो. यति पार्ट कमन छ vocabulary भन्ने बित्तिकै, हैन. जस्तो क्वेशन vocabulary section बाट any kind of question if asked, you can start with this, introduction part. Vocabulary is a list of words with their meanings, हैन. Words with their meanings. So it is one of the aspects of language. Vocabulary is building block of language. If language structure is the skeleton of language, it is the vocabulary that provides vital organ and flesh for the complete shape of language. It is therefore needless to say that teaching vocabulary is necessary for the students. It is one of the predicators, of academic success of the students. This is the introduction part of vocabulary. So this is common. If it is asked, write the basic steps of teaching vocabulary. And what are the various techniques of teaching vocabulary? Then this second paragraph talks about the question. There are many ways that are useful in vocabulary class. Use of pictures, real objects or real things, use of a dictionary, songs are few ways to mention here. Are few ways to mention let me mention here. There are few ways to mention here. As it is asking question, the various ways of teaching vocabulary, they are given below. So possible ways of teaching vocabulary, like real objects, real things, pictures, action, explanation, translation, pointing, definition, demonstration, self-defining context, synonyms, antonyms, dictionary use, matching, riddles, brain teasers, songs, chants, rhymes, tongue twisters. So these are few to mention here. And mathi question describe with examples at least 4 different ways of teaching vocabulary from this list. From this list, any 4 we can describe. The describe description of any 4 ways of teaching vocabulary are given below. Like this, we can write one sentence is paragraph, like then we can describe which one. Songs, okay, songs, we can use songs or rhymes, we can use one. Games also we can use another. Another pointing, let's simply say pointing. And let's say a dictionary use, okay, DICTION, dictionary use. Then we write some steps how we use these 4 ways to enhance the vocabulary power of the students in this way. यसरी जानुपर्छ। यो गर्नुहुन्छ नि तपाईहरुले हैन, यो गर्नुहुन्छ हैन, यो songs, games, pointing, and dictionary use. This question demand गरेको चाहिँ यस्तो हो हैन। First we write introduction part, a couple of sentences, then we make a list of different techniques or ways of teaching vocabulary, then we go to the description of some techniques like this. लेखिदिनु, हामी आज छलफल गरौँ कि तपाई गर्नुहुन्छ यो dictionary use, game, songs? हामी हिजो पढ्यौ हैन? We did it yesterday, yes? Okay. Now, this is, second type of question. Then third type of question can be asked like, we checked in the previous question also. Vocabulary, list of vocabulary will be given, I know. List of vocabulary is given. Then we are asked to explain how do we teach them. Wo yesto type ko sodhna sakcha haina, how to teach them. Sorry. This kind of, for example, how do we teach them? Okay, like careful DDR fodder, then we are asked to teach fodder, culture, then fodder, culture, education, and this heritage. Okay, heritage, then heritage, then TREA, treasure, and culture, treasure, and society, and ARTS, earthquake, and school. Now these are like this. Then we will be asked, how do you teach? कसरी पढाउनुहुन्छ भन्न सक्छ हैन यो तीनटा तरिकाबाट हेरौं vocabulary-मा. One way is basic steps, another one is activities directly can be asked, then another way is what list of vocabulary is given, then we are asked to explain how do we teach them. In this way we conclude the vocabulary part. Okay, so haven't you seen my screen? मेरो स्क्रिन देखिया छैन? Some of you some of you have written screen has not seen. Now today we go to the pronunciation. Okay, this is the pronunciation part. In pronunciation, okay, in pronunciation, one question let's write here, then we discuss this. What are the problems? What problems do Nepalese learners of English face in learning pronunciation? Discuss with examples the basic steps of helping learners to learn difficult sounds in English. Okay, this pronunciation part of sounds you discuss in unit, I think this is in language and linguistics unit. You discuss there also. There you have to discuss sound system of English language and sound system of Nepali language. Then there are some new sounds and there are some some common sounds. So those are new, will be difficult for the learners. Okay, so this is the question just to practice. Okay, so for this question we can start with the brief introduction part, like pronunciation refers to production of sounds. Production of sounds, words, phrases, and sentences with appropriate stress pattern in a given language. This is what pronunciation so is especially related to what production of sounds. Okay. Then teaching pronunciation is one of the aspects of language, one of the aspects of English language. Let's say we are concerned with English, ENGLISH, English language. Knowledge of pronunciation includes sounds, stress, intonation. In sounds also, we talk about consonant and vowel sounds, and 24 consonant sounds and 20 vowel sounds. Altogether, we have 44 sounds in English. They are the full phonemes. This we have to discuss stress and intonation pattern. So altogether, these make pronunciation. English is stress time language. Then there will be stress and stress. Some syllables get high prominence, high emphasis while producing, and some less. So if there is up and down, there is a fluctuation going sometimes up and sometimes down, and there is a kind of rhythmic pattern, a kind of music will create. That is what in the quality of English language. But in Nepali we don't have this kind of pattern. Nepali we have Nepali language is syllable time language. In Nepali, when we speak, all the syllables get equal prominence, equal emphasis. So because of this kind of difference in language, we Nepalese learners of English face difficulty. English stress time language ho, Nepali syllable time language ho. Stress time language ma syllables huncha, कुनै syllable stress हुन्छ, कुनै unstress हुन्छ. Stress unstress भन्दाखेरि then there will be what going up and down. This kind of quality we see in English. But in Nepali, all syllable syllables get what equal emphasis. सबैले बराबर त्यही भएर यो समतलकै सबै एकदमै एक रूपले जान्छ नेपालीको, तर इंग्लिशको चाहिँ तलमाथि हुन्छ when producing. So this kind of difference in the quality of languages between English and Nepali, we learners of English face difficulty, and the problems, the possible problems that Nepalese learners of English are facing, the possible problems that Nepalese learners of English face in learning pronunciation are listed below. This is just introduction part, this is brief information about what is pronunciation. So this is what now question ma touch gareko chha हामीले यो the possible problems that Nepalese learners of English face in course of learning English pronunciation are given below. These are few, so first language interference like tendency to emphasize two all syllables equally, syllable र syllabus syllable लेख्दा syllabus भन्छ कि यो there are syllables. Okay, first language interference like tendency to emphasize to all syllables equally, बराबर जोड दिँदाखेरि के हुन्छ भने Nepali language interference जान्छ के while learning English. So this is one problem of learning pronunciation in English language. And another possible problem is confusion in similar sounds. Confusion in similar sounds, I mean, just a minute. Yes. यो अलि अर्को परेछ क्या त्यो स्लाइड. So problems ma chahi teaching pronunciation includes dealing with segmental and suprasegmental features. Segmental भन्ने बित्तिकै consonant sounds र vowel sounds कुरा आयो. So suprasegmental features like stress, length, juncture, pitch, tone, intonation, these are suprasegmental features. So when we talk with language and pronunciation especially, we have to talk about what segmental and suprasegmental features of language. This means teachers should focus on the following areas while planning to teach pronunciation. Sounds we have to teach, stress pattern and intonation pattern. So these are the knowledge areas of pronunciation. Like I said, knowledge areas of pronunciation. Pronunciation सिक्नु भनेको के हो? यो कुरामा जोड दिनु हो, हैन? Dealing with the sounds, stress pattern, intonation is inherently difficult task. यो आन्तरिक रूपमा यो के छ, difficulty हो यिनीहरु भने, हैन? It is the problem not only to the non-native speakers, not only to the non-native speakers of English, but also native speakers experience such, even native speakers they feel difficult. These are inherently difficult aspects of language, English language. So majority of the teachers plan to teach language skills and vocabulary, function and grammar. Yes, we plan for language function, we plan for grammar, we plan for vocabulary, we plan for listening, speaking, reading, writing, but we very rarely try to teach what pronunciation. We always try to jump from teaching pronunciation, because we know the inherent difficulty of this pronunciation part. So there are some reasons, like they escape from teaching pronunciation. Classroom experience also shows that without teaching pronunciation, some students seem to be successful in learning pronunciation. Some students, they have good command over pronunciation, but we are not teaching to them. पढाएको छैन तर उच्चारण चाहिँ राम्रो गर्छन् हैन कसैले चाहिँ त्यसो गर्छ सो classroom experience also shows that without teaching without formal teaching of pronunciation if students can learn pronunciation why should we teach त्यसो भए किन पढाउने त भनेर एउटा त्यो पढाइदैन त्यो अर्को भनेको दे आर इनहेरेन्टली डिफिकल्ट जब तिनीहरु के हो भने आन्तरिक रूपमै के हो भने they are the very difficult qualities to deal with intonation, to deal with stress pattern, to deal with sounds. So this is what because of this they do not formally teach. They have good command over pronunciation. Because of this also they do not focus on pronunciation aspect. The main problems of teaching pronunciation are given below. Like first, language interference, like tendency to emphasize to all syllables equally. सबै syllables-लाई equally उच्चारण गर्ने के emphasis दिने जोड दिने त्यो चाहिँ नेपाली ल्याङ्ग्वेज भन्छ नेपाली ल्याङ्ग्वेज बोल्दाखेरि तलमाथि जाँदैन हैन सरर जान्छ so when we speak what English language should go up and down हुनु पर्छ a kind of music should be created rhythm should be created हैन but we feel difficult त्यसरी चाहिँ बोल्न चाहिँ गाह्रो हुन्छ हामीलाई चाहिँ this is first. Second one is confusion in similar sounds such as long e and short e, long u short u. So we confuse you e भन्न confusion छ u भन्न confusion छ हामीलाई हैन similar sounds then we confuse long sound or short sound हैन different place of articulations of sounds like fa and ba. So frequently asked हैन जस्तै हामीले fa and ba sound उच्चारण कसरी गर्छौं can you write in the chat box how do we pronounce these two sounds fa and ba ल लेख्नुस् त chat box मा write please write in the chat box how do we produce this fa and ba. Yes. Yes, levidental sound. And in Nepali, this is bilabial in Nepali. Yes, Nepali bilabial. So this kind of different in place of articulation also creates problem. हामी यो इंग्लिशको पनि के रे इंग्लिशको fa and ba नेपालीकै fa and ba जस्तो उच्चारण गर्छौं के इंग्लिश को fa उच्चारण गर्दैन हामीले बोल्दाखेरि for example if you say fan हैन fan and van for example fan and van we don't use our lower lip and upper front teeth हामीले यो तलको ओठ र माथिको दाँत हैन lower lip and upper front teeth because these are levidental sounds हैन so fan and van we don't say so fa भन्नलाई त तल lower lip and upper front teeth आउनु पर्यो fan van भन्नुहुन्छ तर when we pronounce fan and van we use what bilabils bilabial नै युज गर्छौं ओस्ट नै युज गर्छौं हामीले हैन this kind of problem we have we don't use while pronouncing fa and va sounds we very rarely use lower lip and upper front teeth and we are habituated to use two lips upper lip and lower lip and that is what was in Nepali. So this is also influence of Nepali language is the problem हुन्छ हामीसँग upper teeth and lower lip in English but in Nepali bilabial. Yes, this is so sounds which do not exist in Nepali language like there are various variation there are some variation in sounds also so sound in Nepali so भन्ने कुरा हाम्रो के छ एउटा छ so sound हैन र yes भनेर अर्को चाहिँ मोटो सला जनाउँछ हैन पातलो स र मोटो स छ पातलो स we represent in English हैन इंग्लिश मा स हुन्छ स भन्ने इंग्लिश को मा चाहिँ डिफरेन्स हुन्छ तर इंग्लिश मा हुने नेपालीमा नहुने नेपालीमा हुने इंग्लिश मा नहुने सो if they have this kind of difference, then we learners face difficulty, and similarly, when we tend to use or when we use a simple vowel instead of the diphthongs, diphthong use गर्ने ठाउँमा simple vowel use गर्दिन्छौँ हामीले, हैन? जस्तै PLAY प्ले कसरी उच्चारण गर्छौँ हामीले यसलाई? PLAY कसरी उच्चारण गर्नुपर्ने हो? Can you write in the chat box? How do we need to pronounce the word PLAY? Can you write in the chat box? Try. So it should be yeah, Prakash has written, then Minraj, okay, Chanda, Kamal, okay, yes. So you understand, this is play, a, हैन? यो हुनुपर्ने play हो, हैन? P Paul A. So diphthong is there, a diphthong is there, but play भन्दैन, हामी भन्छ play भन्छ के, play. हामीले यो भन्छ, हैन? We say this play instead of instead of what? Paul A. Play. Play भन्नु भन्दा हामीले play भन्छ, play. So this kind of problems we have, using simple vowels instead of diphthongs, such as a sound instead of a sound in the word play. Should be play instead of play. Should be play, a diphthong should be there, but we write just simple vowel a, play भनिदिन्छौँ, हैन? This kind of problems we have in English, and number of sounds differ between English and Nepali languages, sound कुनैमा इंग्लिशमा 44 वटा साउन्ड छ भने नेपालीमा 45-46 वटा साउन्डहरु हुन्छन्, हैन? सो डिफथंग्स पनि इंग्लिशमा 13 वटा छ, हैन? सो this kind of difference will be there, हैन? त्यो डिफरेन्स चाहिँ हामी हेर्नु पर्छ, and this is especially in unit language and linguistics, you get clear idea. So because of this kind of problems in English, so we experience, or we feel difficult to teach pronunciation. Okay, these are about difficulties. Then what basic steps do you follow? Basic steps I drop teach English, but I borrowed this idea, and basically this gradual release model will be important, will be useful to teach this pronunciation of the students. Gradual release model is especially focuses on first teacher leads the class, teacher gives the sample model, teacher controls first, and slowly what happens, slowly releases the control and gives up to the students. त्यतातिर जान्छ के बिस्तारै रिलिज गरिदिन्छ, छोड्दिन्छ कन्ट्रोल चाहिँ, and students they have to pick up, उले पिक अप लिन पर्छ, हैन? So this is the gradual release model. In pronunciation part also, students they are not familiar with the sounds, they are not familiar with the stress and unstress patterns of English, they are not familiar with the intonation pattern. So first teacher gives sample model, then they will drill, a kind of drilling will be there, so repetition, trying to memorize, they do this, and slowly what teacher releases, or teacher leaves them, and students they independently try to pronounce. In this way we do this. Okay, now just to discuss one simple question I have mentioned here. What are the basic steps of teaching pronunciation? Now question कसरी सोधिन सक्छ भने, what problems do Nepalese learners of English face in learning English pronunciation? Then write, then also mention some basic steps of supporting or facilitating or helping learners to learn the pronunciation of those difficult areas. यसरी सोधिन सक्छ एउटा एउटा भनेको डाइरेक्टली एक्टिभिटी सोधिन सक्छ what are the different activities, what are the different techniques that we can use to support students in learning pronunciation भनेर सोधिन सक्छ एक्टिभिटीज भन्यो भने एक्टिभिटीमै जान्छौं बेसिक स्टेप्स भन्यो भने बेसिक स्टेपमा जान्छौं बेसिक स्टेप भन्यो भने we go to the gradual release model. Now just a brief discussion is here. While teaching pronunciation of difficult sounds, we can use a gradual release model. For first, students should get model pronunciation of difficult sounds, words, etc. And then they pronounce together, teacher and students. Finally, individual students get chance to pronounce individually. These basic steps of teaching difficult sounds according to gradual release model are given below. First, I do, we do, and you do. 3 stages. And your 3 stages in teaching reading also we can use, apply, but in pronunciation also equally useful. I do stage. For example, for and ba sounds are difficult to the Nepalese learners because they use 2 lips. They use 2 lips while pronouncing these 2 sounds. Okay, we teachers and learners have realized this. How you for and ba padhaunu paryo. Say the sounds alone. For example, pha and ba, leave it and tell. So the organs of speech. So the place of articulation, how these sounds are produced. Whenever organ of speech dekhanu paryo. Organ of speech ma air comes out, then there will be a kind of closure inside the mouth. Then lower lip goes towards the upper front teeth, and then lower lip touches to the upper front teeth. Some kind of obstruction will be there, air obstruction. Then with the friction, it comes out or they come out. Explosion friction घर्षण हुँदै आउँछ. So say the sounds alone. For example, first step. Say the sounds in words. For example, fan and van, fan, van. Contrast them with other sounds. For example, toy and the, thin, the, thief, the. What this is what toy and the dental तिर जान्छ फेरि. So write words on the board. Write words on the board. अब शब्दहरु बोर्डमा लेखिन्छ हैन. Like fan, van, we write on the board. Okay, so write the words on the board. Write the words on the board. Explain how to make or how to produce. How to produce. Pronunciation भनेको के हो? Production of speech sounds, that is pronunciation. So explain how to produce the sounds. This means we explain our organs of speech. We show the we show the model, so or we can also draw a figure, figure of speech organs we can draw and we can explain. So this is I do step. Your teacher le गर्छ यो सबै step के हुन्छ? Teacher मा control हुन्छ. Teacher controls this. And now slowly together, teacher and student, they do. Here, what happens is, pronounce the sound together. Now, teacher and students, they together pronounce fa and va. They practice. Now, get the students to repeat the sound in group. Now, get the students to repeat the sound in group. Now, students in group, they try to pronounce the sounds using specific particular organs of speech like lower lip and upper front teeth. So then finally get individual students to repeat the sound. Let's check whether individual students can pronounce or produce these difficult sounds or not. We check finally. So this is what gradual release model. Now here we selected 2 difficult sounds for Nepalese learners, fa and ba, because even now and in the days to come, in the future also, we use two lips to pronounce fa and ba because we are habituated. हामी अभ्यस्त भइसक्यौं के अब fa and ba lower lip and upper front teeth pronounce गर्न this is a kind of difficulty. हाम्रो अलि गाह्रै पर्छ हैन fan fan ban 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 भन्न अलि गाह्रो पर्छ. So we say fan ban fan ban fan ban fan ban means two lips. Duita lower lip and upper front teeth, lower lip and upper lip come together and join and produce what this kind of sound. So in this way, कुनै sounds भन्ला exam मा हैन कुनै sound pick up गर and write the basic steps to help them भन्ला. अथवा you can also ask some words, कुनै word छान, then how do you teach the stress pattern भन्न पनि सक्छ. Okay, in this way we can teach. This is about sounds, teaching sounds, dealing with difficult difficult sounds. In the same way, you can select difficult dealing with word stress. Word stress मा पनि जान सक्नुहुन्छ हैन. Just you pick up some words हैन, जस्तै noun र verb हैन. Noun र verb मा for example the word present, present, and another this is noun हैन. The word present, present is verb. Verb हुँदा कहाँ हुन्छ, noun हुँदा कहाँ हुन्छ, stress pattern हैन. So you check it. In noun, stress pattern is in different location. In verb, stress pattern in different location. So to teach stress, word stress, you can select just simply present. The word present is a noun, might be in the first is a noun, and is a verb, this might be in the second, you check it. Stress pattern here, stress को symbol है. The Oxford Dictionary हेर्नुस्, present as a verb, second, I think second syllable is stress, and as a noun first syllable is stress. So you can take example of word stress also. Question कसरी सोध्छ हैन, sound level मा सोध्यो भने fa and ba you can take, and if it is asked from word level, word level भन्ने बित्तिकै stress तिर जान्छ, then you can take just one example of the word present as a noun, as a verb. So in different positions the stress. Okay, in this way we can do. So teaching stress, yes, it comes in down here. So this is what basic steps of teaching sounds. These are the problems we face, and these are the knowledge areas of sounds or pronunciation. In this way we do now these activities, like here you can see what are the various ways or techniques of teaching pronunciation. To teach pronunciation, what we can do is we can use this modeling also. We can do one thing, just we can model, we can focus to the stress and on stress. Then another is visual representation also we can do. Just stress मा चाहिँ के एउटा सिम्बल राख्दिनु पर्यो, on stress मा हुँदैन. So when there is stress, then stress the focus there, kind of symbol we mention, like Harmer ले दिएको छ नि, Harmer को चाहिँ like visual representation, like modeling, visual representation, phonetic symbols, we can use three different techniques given by Harmer. Through modeling, through modeling, then through visual representation, then through phonetic symbols. through THROUJ through phonetic symbols. Especially, these three techniques we can use to teach what stress pattern of words in this way. Then minimal pair sounds, sound pronoun, like we use minimal pair. Minimal pair means two words, pair means two words, only they differ in one phoneme or sound. Euta sound matra difference. For example, TN 10 same here. TN, EN is here, EN is here, PN pen, EN is here. So the only difference here is what po and ta. Euta matra sound ma difference. Yes, like this is what minimal pair. The pair will differ only in one sound. That sound might be in the initial position, in the middle position, in the final position. But one sound will be different. Okay, this is minimal pair. Then same or different activity like roel. This kind of activity you can use, and to teach sounds, and you spot the difference. Also, students, they listen and they try to find out the difference. Tongue twister is another excellent activity to practice, or to habituate, or to familiarize our tongue with the particular sounds. Tongue particular sounds परिचित हुन पर्यो हैन. Mixed biscuits. If you read many times with increasing speed, then you realize it, and your tongue will be tongue gets exercised. Mixed biscuits. If you say many times with fast speed, mixed biscuits. So this is what tongue gets exercised because of this tongue twisters. You zebra exercise because we are not some sounds are different sounds and difficult sounds to the learners, and tongue feels difficult. So we need to provide such situation where tongue will be what experienced or habituated to pronounce or to produce that sounds. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Mixed biscuits. These are what some examples of what tongue twister. Loud reading, of course, useful in the earlier grades, junior classes. Teacher gives one model reading, and then what students, they try to read loudly. When they read loudly, what happens? And they pronounce the words, and teacher can observe their reading and see the pronunciation of their reading. Then what happens? This is also one way of improving the pronunciation part. And modeling, so teacher models through visual representation, means teacher shows the symbols, and then or organs of speech also teacher can show. And then through phonetic symbols, we put some kind of symbols to the stress level, and won't give any symbol to the unstressed. When there is some symbols in the syllables, then students, when they pronounce, they focus on, they stress there. So oral drills, of course, we can do rhyming words, recording students' voice also. Students, they record their voice and they play and listen, and what if there is anything to improve, again they record, they listen, they record, they listen. So this kind of practice also can be done to improve the pronunciation of the students. In this way, we teach. So minimal pair. So then this same or different activity, rhyming word. For example, if we want to teach. If we want to teach cha sound, अथवा I भनौं न, if we want to practice this I diphthong, then we can collect many rhyming words like my, I, my, I, why, cry. So these words we can use. My, I is there. My, I, why, cry. So this kind of rhyming words we can use to practice this diphthong I. So these are few techniques to mention here, and please try to read and do these activities in pronunciation part. So if any difficulty tomorrow we can discuss, then go ahead. Okay, thank you. Now primary you can start. Yes, Sai, bye also. Yes, okay. Sunil, we discuss how do you teach through visual representation, because now primary they start.